from. So I just told about different sources of knowledge and different ways of knowing. We will be discussing all these things here as a part of this paper during this semester. Now you can look at the third unit. That's different perspectives on knowledge and knowing. And this is the soul of this paper. This is the most important part of this paper. And you'll be learning about the epistemologies of different schools of philosophy, with special reference to the concept of knowledge and knowing, the educational system, and the transaction of knowledge. Idealism is there, naturalism is there, pragmatism is there, humanism is there, existentialism is there, futurism is there. First, we will look at idealism. It is the oldest school of philosophy. And we will look at the aims of education according to idealism. We will look at the curriculum according to idealism. We will look at the teaching methods promoted by idealism. We will look at whether idealism is a modern concept of education or a traditional concept of education. We will look at whether idealism gives freedom to students or not. And then we will look at naturalism, a modern school of philosophy. We will look whether naturalists were against each and every concept put forth by idealism or not. We will look at the aims of education promoted by naturalism, the curriculum promoted by naturalism, the teaching methods promoted by naturalism, the freedom given to students by naturalism, the concept of discipline put forth by naturalism. All these things will be discussed there. Then comes pragmatism, one of the modern school of philosophies, one of the modern schools of philosophy. And nowadays, we will look whether now we are following naturalism or pragmatism, whether we are following a combination of naturalism or pragmatism. What this pragmatism means, whether it is the recent school of philosophy. And we will look at the concepts put forth by pragmatism. We will look at the reality put forth by pragmatism. We will look at the aims of education put forth by pragmatism. We will look at the concept of freedom put forth by pragmatism. We will look at the curriculum put forth by pragmatism. Then comes humanism. And when you hear the term humanism, you might have got some meaning in your mind. And we will look whether the meaning which you keep in your mind is the accurate meaning of humanism, or whether humanism is something else, whether the humanistic concept in psychology and the school of philosophy called humanism is same or not, whether it has got some difference. All these things we will discuss there, and we will discuss different concepts of humanism, like curriculum, aims of education, methods of teaching, so and so on. And then we will come to existentialism. And Sartre is one of the greatest promoters of existentialism. And Sartre told that humanism is existentialism is a type of humanism. But at the same time, Sartre was against most of the concepts put forth by humanism. So what is this? Whether existentialism and humanism carry similar features, whether they keep some differences too. We will discuss all these things. Then comes basis of modern child-centered education, something similar to the topic which we discussed during the first semester, called modern paradigms of education. So here we will look at the contributions of different people like Gandhiji, Tagore, John Dewey, Plato, Buber, and Paulo Freire to the modern child-centered education with their concept of activity-oriented classroom, discovery learning, dialogue, etc. And then comes the name of the paper is knowledge and curriculum, and all the first 3 units deal with the concept of knowledge. And now we can just look at curriculum, and the 4th unit is about curriculum. What is curriculum? How can you define curriculum? What is the etymological meaning of curriculum? Whether it is an English word, whether it is a word which is derived from another word from any other language like Latin or Greek. So we will look at the etymological meaning of the word curriculum, whether curriculum is syllabus, whether syllabus is curriculum, whether there is a difference between syllabus and curriculum, whether syllabus is a part of curriculum. All these things we will discuss today. Then we will look at different aspects such as enacted curriculum, proposed curriculum, written curriculum. And we will look at the process-oriented curriculum. We will look at the product-oriented curriculum. We will look at different types of curriculum, such as core curriculum, activity-oriented curriculum, content-oriented curriculum, hidden curriculum, issue-based curriculum. Very, very, very interesting topics. And this is not this is not mere promise. I feel that, and I give you the guarantee that you will enjoy the classes. Just a minute. So, see. So we learn all these things. What is core curriculum? What is activity-oriented curriculum? What is content-oriented curriculum? What is hidden curriculum? Something is hidden in that curriculum. And then issue-based curriculum, which I think you know. Then spiral curriculum and something like that. Then comes innovations in curriculum construction. Whether there is a need of innovations in the case of curriculum, whether we have to follow the same curriculum which we have been using all these years, whether we have to change the curriculum on the basis of new concepts, whether we have to make some creativity, make use of some creativity in the case of curriculum construction. And we will look at different innovations which have already been done all over the world in the case of construction of curriculum. We will look at flipped classroom. We will look at positive teaching. We will look at some other innovations in the case of curriculum construction. Then we will look at curriculum framework. We will look at textbooks, the qualities of a very good textbook and something like that. We will look at handbooks and all the things related, the basic things related to curriculum will be told during the discussions of this paper. And you can see assignments. There is assignment and task. The assignment will be a topic from this paper. I will give you options, just like I gave you during the first semester. I will give you 10 or 11 options. You can select a topic from those that list, and you can write an assignment on that, either in English or Malayalam. Then the task is very, very interesting. Last year or last few years, I was giving a task of analyzing a textbook. You have to analyze one of the textbooks related to your optional subject. For example, if you are an Arabic student, you can take an Arabic text of 8th standard, 9th standard, or 10th standard, and you can just analyze the text and you can write a report. I will give you some demonstrations, I will give you some models, and you will do it in an excellent manner. Don't worry, your seniors, all the senior batches have done this work in a wonderful manner. And you will see that it will be very, very easy, and you will see that it will be very, very interesting, and you will see that it will be very, very useful for you in your future. And you will do that work in a serious manner. Then there is another task, or you have to select one of the tasks. Another task which is given in your syllabus is creation of a textbook. And I have assigned this work only the first batch of this version, this 2-year BEd scheme. It is preparation of a textbook. And if you are, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I think you are able to face, there was a technical error. Yes?
Yes, sir.
So preparation of a textbook. And this one can be done by giving the duty of preparing a lesson to a student. For example, if you are from English, and if you are 7 or 8 students from English optional subject, each student can create a lesson. And by combining these 7 lessons, we will prepare a textbook. And this work was done only by one batch, because it's a complicated work, it takes time. And if we get enough time, I will give you a demonstration. I will give you a demonstration on how to design a textbook by using CorelDRAW or PowerPoint presentation. And if you're ready to do that, if your optional subject is ready to do that, then each one of you can prepare a single lesson. And after that, we can combine all these lessons together and we can create a textbook. And there is a development of a handbook for teachers. And if you are ready to develop a handbook for teachers, for example, if you are preparing a handbook which will be giving some instructions to teachers to handle different lessons of a textbook, then it's also a work. So we can decide later whether we have to look at only one work, or whether we can select from these 3 different works as a task of this paper on the basis of the time and situation which we get during the second semester, because we may not be able to tell about the coming days, because we are not able to tell whether we will get all the working days or whether we can continue this semester, because at any time we may have to face some critical situations, just like we were forced to face lockdown during the COVID-19 pandemic days. So this is something about knowledge and curriculum part 1. And I may give you some explanation on different topics included in this paper in your mother tongue too. So I just stop this recording